بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة العالمين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد، وبارك يا ربنا على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. The respected brothers and sisters, after praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's great bounties on the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the bounty of Islam, the bounty of Iman, the bounty of the Quran. And after asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue bestowing on the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam the bounty of loving one another for the sake of Allah, of missing one another for the sake of Allah, which cannot be for other than the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought their hearts together to love Him, to His cause, and when they leave one another, they will leave one another also to His cause, and when they will miss one another, they will miss one another to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's cause. Which is the great bounty that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed on the followers of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam by establishing that strict connection and links between their hearts. I have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as my witness that we love you to the sake of Allah. We have been missing you to the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the brother told me outside he was missing the medicine. I am missing the medicine. We are here to heal one another, to cure one another. And how great is to consider missing the deen is a disease, which is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from this ummah. We have been trying to repeat that example long time back. The fish inside the water, getting out, die. No food, no source of life. And that is the reason Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, it's a real meaning. Alhamdulillah, it's not dependent on a person. And if it is, Muhammad would have never left alayhi salatu wasalam. Our only excuse before Allah that we are sharing and eating and distributing the Prophet ﷺ inheritance. Last Jum'ah, I think the subject of the khutbah was the masajid. That's correct? Do you remember? Are you sure? The masajid. Do you remember it before I said? Yes. Good. One of the main subjects addressed that Ibn Mas'ud, it's an amazing story. Ibn Mas'ud is coming to the guys in the market in Najda Street, Khalifa Street. Anyway, and telling them, are you here? What you are doing, guys? Buying, selling, and the inheritance of the Prophet is being distributed. And they said, where is it? He said, there in the masjid. And that discussion was in Medina. It's distributed there? Yes, he said it's distributed there in the masjid. And Ibn Mas'ud stayed in his place inside the market after he told them. And the guys left, running. Something is being, free food, free pizza, coupons. Something is being distributed in the masjid. They went to the masjid and they came back to Ibn Mas'ud. What's wrong with you, Ibn Mas'ud? We went there and we found nothing being distributed. And he told them, what you have seen there? Have you seen guys there? He said, yes. I've seen guys praying. I've seen guys reading the Quran. I've seen guys studying the Hadeeth of the Prophet. And that's it. So nothing is being distributed. And he said, guys, وَيْحَكُمْ, how bad you are. That is the inheritance of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Prophets did not leave behind money, flats, apartments, assets, and that is the hadith. But they left behind knowledge to be shared, to be used, to be guided to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Allah's light. That's the inheritance of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And when the brothers are sharing that meaning, that the time you are missing the inheritance is a disease, that means wallahi we did something out of that session. Regardless how much is the production, but if we started to feel at homes, houses, communities, societies, that the time we are gonna miss, we didn't miss dunya. We are receiving our salaries. We are driving our cars. We are spending some of our vacation somewhere. But something is missed. And sometimes the guys, they're saying, what? How those guys are crazy. Ours is not cooked. The sweetness cannot be offered in the market. You remember what Ibn Taymiyyah said? If the kings and rulers will know how sweet and how valuable is remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the sweetness of the iman, they would have taken out of us by force, detaining us, fighting. But they don't know it. It's not offered. And sometimes even you can say to your wife, just, you will not understand what I'm saying. I cannot describe it. It's something. أَلَمْ نَشْرَحْ لَكَ صَدْرَكَ. The chest is open. What is this? That's not 2 tablets of Panadol. That's not Taramycin and the Thromax antibiotic. No, it doesn't work. Can you give me what you have felt? It doesn't work. Can you ask other to give you a quarter of his sweetness of iman against your whole money?
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. His whole money might not be enough to get him a minute out of the chest opening. Sometimes you feel that the oxygen is getting into your lungs so difficult. And it's your same lung, same nose, same oxygen, same environment, same everything. And you're saying, why I'm feeling that bad? Is it correct? And sometimes, same guy, same place. Just, what do you feel? Can you write? It's not written. Can you describe? I'm feeling good. Explain more. I don't know what I have. I'm feeling comfortable. More. For what? Have you eaten a lot? No. Have you received a promotion? No. Have you received a bonus? No. Then what is the issue? I don't know. It's the taste that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted the believers. And whenever the believers will reach that level of iman, that's one of the signs. That no one can feel it except you. The inheritance of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When we reach the level that we started to keep going on the activities of our dunya, and the time we are missing the sessions of iman, it can be here, it can be at home, it can be everywhere. Sometimes you recommend one, you are connected to one, which is not bad. And when you miss the jama'ah, the group guiding you to the sake of Allah, those are the guys that's really called missed. The one that's what the Prophet did say, that the time when you see him, he is reminding you with Allah. Somebody you see him, you remember also always cards, or nightclub, or the vacation package, or holiday package, blah blah blah. And somebody you see him, and just to see him, you are gonna see, and the opening had started. I'm gonna get the dose. It's not an opium, it's not cocaine, it's our own cocaine, our own. And we hope that we are addicted of that iman. There is no better addiction than such. To be addicted of reading the Quran, addicted of reading the Sunnah of Muhammad, addicted of studying Allah's deen, to the extent that time you miss it, you cannot live. You are always looking for, because you feel it's the source of your life, as Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did mention. Never ever forget this. The few words you told me, it is exactly what the Prophet said. The parable, the method, the example of the one who is remembering Allah and the one who is not, is like the one who is living and the one who is dead. It's this. He's eating, drinking, breathing, intercoursing, everything. But he's called dead. Not even dead. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did call them like animals and wolves. Nothing. Because of that small piece. كَمَثَلِ الْحَيِّ وَالْمَيِّتِ, alive or dead, with that little dose. I didn't know the period. He told me 2 months. Maybe 2 months. Is it 2 months? This, subhanAllah, 8 weeks? You're making me feeling so bad. Just, this. That's enough for a whole village to die. It's not just 8 months. It's just guys are dying from Friday to Friday, and they need some doses in the middle. They need some antibiotics, some vitamins, some glucosamine, some just triple flex, something just not to flex the knee, to flex the heart, to flex the heart. Subhanallah. Sadaqa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He's the truthful prophet alayhi salatu wa sallam. And he will say nothing but the revelation of Allah. It's a simple place, and it can be considered for some people nowhere, no value. It is the place that you are coming to get the Islamic max code, your own addiction, your own morphine. It's my freedom, guys. It's freedom of talks, freedom of faith, freedom of addiction. We are addicted to the love of Allah and the love of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And it's a barrier of a door. What the Prophet said, the worst spots in the eye of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the markets. Cheating, buying, selling. And it can be places also for good things, but still, it's a place that's subjected to many leakages, leaks everywhere. And they asked him, what are the best spots into the eye of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And he said, in masajid. And that for the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, out of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy. The masjid could be the real masjid, or it's the place that you are using for prostration. Masjid, location for prostration. Is it a pure masjid? Nothing else should be done except that place, but being used as a masjid, or a place that you are using to have sujood, to have ruku', to have teaching, to have guidance to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And that the Prophet alayhi salatu wa sallam, he mentioned about those sessions. Remember? What they are called? What they are called? What the sessions of knowledge is what? It's just kept, the gardens of the paradise on dunya. Just whenever you pass by the gardens of paradise, pass by, stop by. They said, Ya Rasulullah, we are in dunya. You are telling us about here or there? He said, no, in dunya. He said, Riyad al-Jannah, we know Riyad al-Salihin. Is it correct?
Yes.
Gardens of righteous. Is it correct? He said, Riyad al-Jannah, gardens of paradise. He said, Ya Rasulullah, we are in dunya. What are those gardens of paradise? And he said, حلق العلم أو مجالس الذكر. The sessions that you are coming along in to remember Allah, to study the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said about the same alayhi salatu wasalam. Whenever a group from the believers will come in a place that can be there, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given only that favor only to the ummah of Muhammad. Christians cannot pray in other than churches. Jews cannot pray in other than synagogues. Hindus cannot pray in other than temples. But the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allah told the Prophet, any spot on the whole earth can be a place for prayer and prostration. جُعِلَتْ لِيَ الْأَرْضُ مَسْجِدًا وَطَهُورًا. The earth has been given to me as tahur. Any place that's mixed with dust is pure, and you can use for prayer. The location of urine and stool You can spray dust and it has become pure for prayer. You can spray it with water and it can be pure for prayer. Anyway. Can you observe your prayer in the aircraft? Riding a camel? Riding a horse? Inside your car? On your bike? Yes. To this ummah, yes. Anywhere. You can have the 24/7 connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You don't need to. Just let me go there. Why you need to go there? Why you need to go here? Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen 3 places on the whole earth to have them of different values as masajid. Al-Aqsa, Medina, Al-Masjid Al-Haram. That's it. So you can, it's the masajid out of the whole globe. And out of the masajid, 3. 500 times, 1,000 times, 100,000 times. To give a push that you can do effort for some places. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing this ummah. So you will not make it on your own and choose a 4th masjid or a 5th. You want to get the reward? The reward is not for the location. The reward is for following Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's rules, following the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The Prophet alayhi salatu wa sallam made he said just Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the prayer in Jerusalem 500 times, the prayer in any other masjid. The prayer in the masjid of the Prophet alayhi salatu wa sallam is 1,000 times the prayer in any other masjid. The prayer in the Masjid Al-Haram is 100,000 times the prayer in any other masjid. And the Prophet did say, and better than all of this, than in Masjid Al-Haram? Yes. ركعتين بالليل والناس نيام. 2 rak'ahs at night and everyone is sleeping. Better than everything. Better than going to Mecca and pray there. You can be in Mecca doing the effort, flying, but showing off. But those 2 rak'ahs, Allah can see in your heart what no one else can see except Allah. Everyone is in his own. No one is looking at you. You will not meet with Ahmed and Essam and Mahmoud next to Zamzam or next to Safa and Marwa. Kids are sleeping sometimes. Wives might be even sleeping sometimes. No one knows nothing about no one but Allah. So I am here, Ya Allah, only for you. Adjusting my alarm at 2:30 or 3 or 3:30 or 4. I'm doing that effort. It might not be that big, Ya Allah, but it's only for you. No one sees it but Him. No one knows it but Him. The sincerity out of that little 2 rak'ahs. 2. Better than the salah in the Masjid Al-Haram? Yes. ركعتين بالليل والناس نيام. 2 rak'ahs at night and everyone is sleeping. And somebody did know what Allah has prepared for His servants in the last 1/3 of the night. Somebody did learn the sunnah of Muhammad. Somebody want to show sincerity to Allah. Ya Allah, I'm doing only that for you. It has nothing to do with Ramadan. It has nothing to do with the location. It has nothing to do with timing. It has only to do with me and the Creator. And that's what the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam needs. When the time will come to feel that when you miss the deen, when you miss the charge, when you miss strengthening or jumping up the battery, you cannot live. You cannot live. As we learned from the Sahaba of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You are saying 8 weeks? The Sahaba used to leave just with Isha, going for 2 hours home and coming back to the Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, Hanzala is gone for 2 hours. هلك حنظلة نافق حنظلة. Hanzala is almost going to be hypocrite. Why Hanzala? Ya Rasulullah, that we are getting the dose. Chest is open. You can breathe. You can feel the sweetness that no one can get, even for millions and billions of dollars. Because it's not touchable. It's not materialistic. It's in your DNA. You only feel it. You only feel it. If somebody would offer you billions to give it away, you will say, I cannot. You don't know, guys, what I'm feeling. I've been trying to spend a lot to get a part of, and I cannot. They said, Ya Rasulullah, he said, Ya Rasulullah, just studying Quran, listening to the Quran, getting the revelation live from Jibreel to you and from you to the gathering of the Sahaba. Teaching, getting closer to Allah, fearing Allah the way it should, getting closer to Jannah, seeing Jannah when we are not there yet, and feeling the hellfire when even we are not there yet. The faith can convert the mock-up like a real. It will not be a mock. Sahaba used to feel Jannah as Jannah, and used to feel the hellfire as the hellfire. And the Prophet ﷺ did teach Hanzala. Hanzala did not do wrongs. That is the way of the dunya. As far as you are going to keep that link and you feel that missing the dose, you are missing something. Although you are at home dealing with wife, dealing with kids, but that is the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had established the dunya. It's 1 hour and 1 hour. Sa'a wa sa'a. 1 hour at that high dose and another 1 hour harsh. But still, to the sake of Allah. But a different level of iman and chest opening. Inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala we'll cover one hadith from the Nawawi that we started, inshallah, around the same mean about the issue of dunya. We'll try to maintain the doses. Inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we'll make it meaningfully. Inshallah, our sessions will be every other week. Is it correct? Inshallah. And the other week you will have another dose in a different flavor. So we are gonna keep missing one another, inshallah. And you will take some rest. Inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala will try to maintain it, to make it also easy, so that it will never be an overdose. So we'll try to start inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala around 7:45 for the coming 2 months, inshallah, as minimum. We'll try to meet the time we have met, pray Isha here, and start and try to wrap up by 9:15 maximum. And I promise I'll try to do it, inshallah. So it will be the reasonable dose.
But you cannot.
Inshallah. I'll do a test today, inshallah, and see how it works. I promised Amir that I'll do my best, inshallah, to do it. So it will not be an overdose for you, and not even an overdose for you. Inshallah. The hadith of the Prophet ﷺ is number 31 in the Furi Nawawiyah, narrated by one of the great companions of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Abi al-Abbas, Sahl ibn Sa'd al-Sa'idi. His title is Abu al-Abbas, and the name of the companion is Sahl ibn Sa'd al-Sa'idi, radiyallahu anhu wa ardah. He said, a guy came to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, asking him, Ya Rasulullah. Sometimes the questions are tough, man. It's what we used to call it in the West, to make the long story short. Show me how I can go to this city, show me a short cut. And the guy came. We have been asking tens of questions, hundreds. And wallahi al-azim, could be all or most of no value. No value. What he said, what he did, who is on the list of the promotions, who's got the bonus, or ask. Just when is the day of judgment? Then, if I'll give you the answer, no one will give you the answer. Then, tomorrow, 10 years later, then, what? The guy came to the Prophet asking him the same. He said, why are you asking about when? What you have prepared? What you have in your hand? What's in your record? Why you are asking about the day of judgment? Again, because we are wasting. Sometimes the questions can take you to kufr. To kufr. No. Shh. Tell me, how is Allah's hand? I need to know. And about some of those questions, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did mention in the Quran. Don't ask about stuff that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not release. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, and the Prophet did say, Allah was merciful of you when He did not release the answer. It cannot be comprehended. If somebody is going to tell you how Muhammad has gone from earth to seven heavens, gravity, just the crust here and there, and what you're talking about, you will come to a point that you might lose it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making it as a test, as is. And that's Islam. I have to share with you that maybe the brother, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help him in taking care of his son. He has been calling me for the last few months. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed him with a good job, good income. He enrolled his son in one of the American universities in the UAE. And he has realized that he has done his biggest mistake in his life. And wallahi al-azim, I swear by Allah, today in his phone call, he told me, wallahi, if it will take me to have no single penny out of what I have, but not to see my son in such case. He's a guy, he's praying, his wife has hijab. They're just from Arabic descent, double nationality, and he was not bad, but he was not worrying about the top items in the list. And 1 month of nasty and stink fellowship in college has made the guy, the son, come and telling your father, are you telling me that Allah needs us to prostrate and bow like this? And I don't, it doesn't make sense for me. Why I have to bow? Why I have to put my head on the ground? And the guy is crying blood, not tears. Allah al-Azim, Allah al-Azim, Allah al-Azim. We talked a year ago and he said, he listened, he stopped, he didn't take the guy, his son to the same university for the 2nd year, but the disease is the disease. Few guys, I told him, I can do anything. He said, I have been talking to the guy. He's still good at his mom and his dad, but the guys told me, I know that there is a creator and his fellows are Arabs as well. It just it doesn't need. It will come to a point, either a deal or no deal. Wallahi, anything you will tell me right now, if I need to leave everything, wherever I need to go. But the only thing that I cannot bear, that my eldest son, I didn't ask him, but it looks like that's his only son as well. The guy is making me feeling like I'm gonna face Allah, and my son is not even admitting the way it should, the presence of Allah. Either you will take care of, or the shaitan will replace. And the guy is not that bad. I'm not talking about guys who are, no, I'm talking about just skipping out of the list of priorities. That's it. And it was enough to. Can you sit with him? We need to talk. The guy, I stopped his admission and I have him for the last 4 months at home, studying anything at home, but I said, you will not go, doesn't matter. You will never go to this university anymore. But just the problem is just the whole business. And he reached a point that he has no enough gut to challenge. After a few minutes of discussion, he's overheating and he cannot continue that. Just you are talking to your son and in the middle your son is telling you, what's wrong with you? Are you telling me that Allah is... It is tough. It is tough. Either dunya or akhirah. Either the party of Allah or the party of the shaitan. Either the party of Ar-Rahman or the party of the shaitan. We agreed on that earlier. You have to make a decision. You have to make a decision. So the guy is coming to the Prophet asking him the key question. I need to make the long story short. Please guide me to one of the deeds, to one of the actions. If I do, Allah loves me and I am in Jannah. It's that simple. I was given just a Jum'ah, I think 3 or 4 weeks ago. Just I think in Dubai, and the guys were talking about parents and when a person is approaching you to get married to your daughter, and and your wife is preparing a whole list of questions. How big is the single family home, and how luxurious is your car, and how much money you have, and in which bank, and do you have double nationality or not, and a whole list. And I haven't seen in them the shortcut. And I told them, take it from me, and I'm responsible for what I'm saying. And I'm telling them, I'm sure that many of the brothers here have daughters are ready for marriage. And many have sons are ready also to get married. The key question: how I can assure that I can see my daughter in Jannah. Tell me how you will guide my daughter to Jannah. That's it. All the rest is a part of the set. I'm not saying it's trivial. I'm saying it's secondary. Tell me, I have done my best to give you somebody who is fearing Allah, praying, taking care of her mom, righteous as much as I can. Tell me how you will guide my daughter to Jannah. And 90% of the parents, when they asked the guys, they were not able to answer. Oh, uncle, that's a tough question. If that's a tough question, why you are here? Tough question. I'm telling you how you will guide my daughter to Jannah. They kept telling me that they will ask you what's your position in which company, but no one told me that you will ask me how you will guide my daughter to Jannah. I don't need you to answer the others. Tell me how you will take my daughter to Jannah. And some of them give the guys a week to go and come back with answers. You are laughing? And the guys went and they didn't come back. They didn't come back. They did not come back answering a question. How we will take my daughter to Jannah? And he cannot answer. And some did answer after a week saying, I couldn't find the answer. He Googled how I can take his daughter to Jannah. What Google you are talking about? Google is going to give you what? What Google? Yahoo's going to tell you what? You are going to open Yahoo and you'll find a striptease. Strip on the web page. What? Google to Jannah what? You are Google how you will take your wife to Jannah. You don't know how you can say I'm going to get married to her based on the book of Allah, the Sunnah of Muhammad. We are going to do our best to obey Allah and His Prophet. We are going to do our best to teach our kids the Quran. We are going to do my best to maintain my duties to her. And I'm going to do my best to teach her duties to me. Is that difficult? Few seconds. I'm going to do my best to make sure that the money I'm bringing to this family, it doesn't matter, it's little but halal. You cannot say that. I'm going to keep reminding her to fear Allah. I'm going to make sure that we wake up for Fajr together. Guys, what's going on? 8 lines are that tough? A week? And some of them, after a week, they could not answer. And the parent said, man, the mother should understand and get that major lesson. That whole list of, I've seen 4-page checklist, and neither one of them is related to deen. Name of the tribe, name of the family, the checklist, and no single question is the guy praying Fajr or not? Is his money in the bank from a halal source or not? It's not there. Have you asked him what's his job? He has a lot. Do you know what he's bringing the money from? No. Just Jaguar. Okay, then is it from drugs or marijuana? Tell me. Just why should I ask about those questions, Sheikh? Don't tell me Sheikh, because now I'm gonna deal with you. No Sheikh, no nothing. I'm telling you what the guy brought the money from, and you're telling me it doesn't matter. Is he bribing? Is he blah blah? You don't know. You don't know. Is he gonna make it based on deen, based on sharia, based on... Because later on, you will pay to get your daughter out of his hand when she's gonna keep suffering. And you will see the one that you invest half of your life and half of your wife's life to grow her up and to see her a bride. You will see her gone. You give the amana to somebody who has cheated the amana. And he is not the one who has cheated the amana. You, as the father, is the one who has cheated the amana. You give the pearl to somebody who doesn't know the difference between apple and falafel. He doesn't know. Ya Rasulullah, guide me, will be done. Guide me to a deed, to an action that I can. If I do, Allah loves me and I am in Jannah. And the Prophet gave him two statements. Listen, what we have been talking about is the same. Exactly around the same. The real inheritance, the real value of what Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam left. Listen. Izhad. In English, renounce means push away. Just, you should not look fool. I want to make sure that it's the translation is, you should not run after more than what's needed. Let me make it this way. You should go after properly. We discussed that earlier. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about dunya and rizq, Allah did say, walk. هو الذي جعل لكم الأرض ذلولا فامشوا. Walk. Allah had made it easy, streamlined, everything is facilitated. So you don't need more than walking. Means doing your best. Not less than what's needed, not more than what's needed. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about forgiveness, Allah said, rush. وَسَارِعُوا. Run. Push. Otherwise, you don't know when it's the angel of death will visit. But rizq and dunya, walk. Because it's already granted. So the Prophet ﷺ is saying, the guy is asking about again. What the guy is asking about? A deed that if he does, Allah, two things. He said that. That's what he said. He didn't say that the second right. He said, what is the action? What guide me to an action, to one of the deeds? If I do, Allah loves me, that's an objective. And by default, I'm gonna just, and I'll be in Jannah. 2. And the Prophet told him, renounce the dunya. Push it away. Wallahi, and I swear by Allah. You know the spring? You know the spring?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
When you put the spring, what's happening? That's it. That's dunya. Can we agree on this? Push the dunya away. What's going to happen? It will come after you. You don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need it. Umar used to tell her, dunya, deceive other than me. And it's running after him. Deceive other than me, and it's running after him. As the Prophet ﷺ did say in another hadith, جَاءَتْهُ الدُّنْيَا وَهِيَ صَاغِرَةٌ. Dunya will come beneath his feet, yielding and surrendering. Deceive other than me. The Prophet said, renounce the dunya, يُحِبُّكَ اللَّهُ. Allah loves you. Ya Allah, I'm gonna do whatever you asking me to do. Walk. I'm gonna work my part. I'm gonna make it sincere. I'm gonna make it the best. And that's it. 24/7 and getting whatever I can, and by the end you lost your son, you lost his deen, you lost your wife, you lost her deen. What is the benefit? Push the dunya away means don't go for what's not needed. As the Sahaba and the scholar did say. What does it mean? Is whatever out of the halal. Anything can be halal. I can work 24/7. I'm not talking about those who are in haram. 24/7 halal. But that's not what's needed. 24/7 halal, and you miss 6 other items on the list. And they are gone. I'm not talking about haram. Let's talk about even those who are in halal. I don't need it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet and the scholar did say, some of Allah's punishment to some of the believers is to open for you tens, hundreds, lines of businesses. And all could be halal. Stock market, contracting, consulting, project management, a business in Sri Lanka, a business in the US, a business and all are halal. A part of Allah's punishment to keep you scattered, stretch it too thin, to the extent that you don't have time to think in Allah, even in halal. I don't need it. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna give every item its right, its proper share. Family, wife, kids, work, salah, deen, ibadah, studying, education. اعطي كل ذي حق حقه. Give everyone its proper share and right. So renounce the dunya, renounce whatever in dunya. يحبك Allah. Allah loves you. That's a grant. Grant. And another grant, the spring theory. You said to dunya, I don't need you. And dunya will come. Ibn Auf, what Abdul Rahman used to do? Found a treasure. Ya Allah, I don't need it. All to the sake of Allah. And Allah will bring a caller from the heaven saying, Abdul Rahman, are you more generous than Allah? You have opened one door to Allah and Allah has opened 10. Here is what you have given 10 times. Somebody is pushing money away and Allah is saying, you are making it to the sake of Allah? More are coming. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. I don't need it. I need only what? The spring theory. And we said Abdul Rahman, after what he has spent, he passed away and he has $64 million. Back then. $64 million. And the Prophet ﷺ saying, Abdul Rahman, one of the 10, is making it to Jannah crowning. Because he will be stopped, questioned about the 64 million. He will make it to Jannah. The Prophet didn't say he will not. But it will take time to reply. And he's the one who used to push. I don't need you. Spring theory. It will come. Because it was already in Abdul Rahman's sustenance book. That's his risk. Some did push and it did not come back. Abu Dharr did push and it didn't come back. It was not in his sustenance. I don't need it. But both were sincere. To come back or not, it will be to the sake of Allah. Abu Dharr did push, living alone, dying alone, and will come in the day of judgment as one nation. I don't need even this whole dunya. He left even the community of the great companions. At some time he was not able to deal with them. The community of those companions who used to apply zuhd and wara. For Abu Dharr, they used to be too much. They used to be fancy and luxury. And he said, guys, I can no longer live with you. With the Sahaba, with Abu Mas'ud, if he will get his breakfast, he will not get his dinner. Abu Hurairah. And Abu Dharr left with his wife, spending the rest of his life in the desert, till he passed away the way that Muhammad has mentioned 30 years back. Abu Dharr يعيش وحده, lives alone, ويموت وحده, die alone, ويبعث يوم القيامة أمة وحده, and come in the day of judgment as one nation. Abdul Rahman did push, it comes back. It push, it comes back. So renounce whatever is in dunya more than the limit. And that limit will take some sessions only to, because the key point will be what is the limit? How we can differentiate. That's the whole thing. How I can understand that what I need. Nafs is always looking for more. That's the nafs. And there is a line. There is a line separating between what's less and what's more. Shortage, less dose, and overdose. There is a line. The mizan, the balance. إِنَّ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ خَلَقْنَاهُ بِقَدَرٍ. Everything has been created with balance. So you renounce the dunya, Allah loves you. And the second part of the hadith, and renounce whatever is in the hand of others, other human beings. We said renounce whatever is in dunya. Who loves you?
Allah.
Allah. And renounce what others have been given by Allah. Others love you. The time you are looking for whatever is in the pocket of others, you see that Allah has inserted something in his heart against you. See how much Allah gave him. Alhamdulillah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I never look at, may Allah bless him more and more. By default, Allah is making that rope of love. Renounce whatever is in the hand of others. Others love you. Renounce whatever is in the hand of the human being. The human being love you. Who is making the love and hate?
Allah.
Allah. Because you see, Ya Allah, why should envy? Why should have hate? Why should look for? I know, Ya Allah, that you have mentioned in the book of Allah, وَلَا تَمُدَّيْنَ عَيْنَيْكَ إِلَى مَا مَتَّعْنَا بِهِ. Don't have your eyes extended to what we have given others, testing them. Testing them. One day that group tried to do the same with Qarun. We wish that we have what Qarun has. And when they have seen what happened, they say, Alhamdulillah that Allah did not accept the dua. We have just said that we wish we are like him. Alhamdulillah that Allah did not accept our dua with evil against ourselves. And our goal it was not evil. You said, I wish I have what Allah has given Qarun. But you forgot that it's a test. And Allah did say, don't have your eye extended to whatever we have given others. Testing them. It's given to them to see how they will do. They might do good. You might be given and you will do bad. And you are gone. So don't do it. Allah, I know your destiny. I know your fate. I'm gonna look to what I am given. I'm gonna worry about myself. Renounce whatever is in dunya. Allah loves you. Renounce whatever in the hand of the human being. The human being loves you. Inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have a continuation of the same hadith, inshallah. We made it. Still, should we get another 5 minutes? As Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, you want to make it easy on yourself? Be in this dunya like what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it. Stranger or a guy who is passing by. كُنْ فِي الدُّنْيَا كَأَنَّكَ غَرِيبٌ أَوْ كَعَابِرِ سَبِيلٍ. The Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam did say, loving dunya is the head of every major sin. Find me a sin, any, just try to think. And tell me that loving the dunya is not behind it. I challenge you. Any sin that you might think of, you will find loving dunya, struggling for dunya, challenging for gaining dunya is behind it. Any. That's the reason the Prophet said, حُبُّ الدُّنْيَا رَأْسُ كُلِّ خَطِيئًا. Loving dunya is the head, the source of every major sin. Be in the dunya like a stranger or a guy who is stopping by, passing by, even if he will live in this dunya for 1,000 years. That's not your part. But a day and night, remind yourself, I am here today. I can leave tonight. I am here tonight. I can leave in the morning. Go to your bed and you are not expecting to wake up. And wake up and you are not expecting to go to your bed. As Abdullah ibn Umar did say, nothing will be missed out of your rizq. Push it, pull it, the number will not change. Allah knows exactly what's the modulus of elasticity of that spring. Some will have 100% rebounds. Some will have only 30%. Some will have 0. Because that 0, the 30, the 100, it's already written when everyone was 120 days in the womb of his mother. And it has been sealed and it will never change. Will never change. So why have to worry about it? Come, go. I'm doing my part and nothing is going to change. وَفِي السَّمَاءِ رِزْقُكُمْ وَمَا تُوعَدُونَ. It has been already written as sustenance and it will never change. As Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam did say, there is no nafs will die before 2 will be completed till the last bit, sustenance and age. The last penny, the last second. You cannot miss any one of them. And that's for every human being from the children of Adam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make all of us among those who are fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the way it should be feared. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make all of us among those who are renouncing whatever is in dunya. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will love us. Renouncing whatever is in the hand of others. Because we love what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making others loving us. If somebody Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves, Allah is calling Jibreel, Jibreel, I love X, love him. And Jibreel will call him the whole malakut, saying Allah loves X, and I love him, all the ins, all the jinn, love him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will insert in the heart of everyone the love to whomever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fill our hearts with His love and the love of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He used to bring us in that great place, to remind one another to the sake of Allah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not to deprive any one of us from coming inshaAllah subhanahu wa ta'ala in similar repeated gathering inshaAllah subhanahu wa ta'ala in dunya, to fear Allah, to remind one another, to guide one another to the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to come inshaAllah subhanahu wa ta'ala together in a similar gathering in Jannah with Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam wa jazakumullahu khayra.